So, ma'am, we can start.
Okay, can we start? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Garima Srivastava, Assistant Registrar from Center for Distance and Online Learning of Vivekanand Education, of Vivekanand Global University, would like to extend a very warm welcome to our expert speaker, our learners, and all our participants. And learners, I would like to inform you that this expert session is part of our ongoing program, Abhyuday, the Path to Success. Life is determined by the decisions we make. With so many options available to us, making decisions can sometimes feel make you feel unnerving, or it might be confusing as well. So if you find yourself wondering lately what is the right decision or what is the right time to take decision, then we have the solution of all your problems. Moreover, all the paths kneel before the decisive minds. The cure for most obstacles is, in fact, the art of being decisive. The percentage of errors or mistakes in quick decisions is no greater than in long, drawn out indecisions, and the effect of decisiveness itself makes things go and boosts confidence. So one cannot make progress without making decisions. So I would like to inform also to our learners that you will be awarded with a certificate of participation for the expert session. And you can please also make a note that for this particular session, you have to ensure your presence throughout the session. And towards the end of the be provided a feedback form also that you have to fill and share with us. And moreover, it is also mandatory learners to fill the feedback form so that we can acquire all the relevant details for providing you the participation certificates. Now, moving forward, we are extremely grateful to our Mr. Anirban Chakravarti for accepting our request and for being our expert speaker today for benefiting our learners virtually. So now let me introduce you to our expert speaker of today's session. So Mr. Anirban Chakravarti is with us, and he is currently CEO and founder at Set My Coach and has over 2 decades of corporate experience. And he has also been having leadership roles at renowned organizations such as Citigroup, Deutsche Bank Group, SHCIL, and SS and C. He's also part of Globe Op and Finance. He's also an internationally certified executive coach and life coach, and he has been recognized as a LinkedIn top voice in executive coaching. Furthermore, driven by his passion for personal and professional development, Mr. Chakrabarti is dedicated to render support to individuals and businesses unlock their full potential through his expertise. He has a proven track of record of forming successful partnerships with organizations and has been consistently engaged in assisting executives in achieving their goals. With more than 2 decades of industry experience, Mr. Chakrabarti to make a positive impact on the people's life has been consistently contributing towards the same. With great pride, I would like that Mr. Chakravarti has specialized in developing my apologies. So let's move forward. I'm extremely grateful to welcome our expert speaker, and he will be presenting an enlightening session on the power of decision making, shaping your future one choice at a time. So, sir, now I invite you to address our learners.
Thank you very much, Garima ji, for that wonderful introduction and your brief talk upon how decision making is not only very critical but very important. And let me convey my gratitude first to Vivekanand Global University, the online education department, for inviting me and conducting such sessions, which is one step beyond the normal education that we get in the colleges and universities. So many congratulations to you and to the participants as well. And a very warm welcome to the participants. I hope you are all awake because this is a post-lunch session. So in case some of you might be feeling drowsy or sleepy, I would suggest a quick little exercise of rubbing your hand so that everyone is awake. I can't see you, but hopefully you all are awake and would be attentive to this session. So once again, thank you so much. It is a wonderful opportunity to be with you all, talented people, young minds, youth of our country, and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. A quick introduction again. So I have been into the corporate world for more than 2 decades, and as Garimaji mentioned, I had worked with organizations in India, leading small and large teams across multiple locations. And once I decided to move out of the corporate world, I created this platform, setmycoach.com. So it is an online coaching platform, and this is not your academic coaching, but behavioral coaching. So maybe we can talk about this later on, post this session. So let me begin with our topic today, which is on decision making. And please allow me if I'm to share my slide with you guys. So you can see my slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the power of decision making. Now, so I have put this quote. When I was thinking, when I was approached for this session, and the first thing that came to my mind was, what could be a relevant topic for students like you? And then I recalled my days when I was a student at the college and the university. What was the most difficult challenge that I faced? And it was related to decision making, because henceforth, when you pass out from your college or university, you will be taking tough decisions or challenging decisions which would impact your life. So if I tell you, or if I read you the quote, "We are our choices," does it resonate with you? Do you think it makes sense? What we are is because of what we choose in life, right? So let me share a story with you. And this story is a personal one related to me. So when I was in college, like you guys, many of you are doing undergraduate, some of you are doing in postgraduate course. So when I was in college, as I could not make it into engineering, so the other choice at that point of time was to join the army, armed forces. And this I'm talking for the period 1990-91. As I completed my graduation, I appeared for Combined Defense Services exam and Central Police Organization exam. I went to Dehradun for the SSB interview twice. I could clear the written for all the 4 branches of armed forces. And I was interviewed for the Air Force branch in Dehradun, where I got rejected after 5 days of interview there. They have this SSB interview where a lot of group activities and other things happen along with the personal interview and group discussion and all. But somehow I could clear the Central Police Organization exam. Now, when I was in Dehradun, it appeared to me, or I felt that, this is not the right line for me or the right career for me to pursue. Now, simultaneously, what happened? I got through Central Police Organization exam also. I cleared the return. Then we had our interview and GD in Jodhpur at the BSF headquarters. And from there, we had our medical. And subsequently, after a year and a half, in 1992, I got the posting when I was doing my MSc previous at Rajasthan University, Department of Statistics. Now, it was a difficult choice for me in the sense that I had made up my mind that I would not pursue my career in the armed forces. But somehow this opportunity struck. So what happened, I tried to meet people and, gather information that whether I should pursue this career or not. Inside me, I was continuously telling that, I don't want to pursue this career. So I met people, I heard them, I took their feedback. I even went to Mount Abu where the Internal Security Academy was then, which is now moved to Hyderabad now. I met people there, senior officials there, and they were very clear that it is your choice, but keep your eyes and ears open. I came back and it was a very difficult moment for me because everybody I met said, this is a golden opportunity for you. You just passed out of the college, you are doing a post-graduation, you got a Group A services, Government of India, gazetted officer, and likewise. And I was just 21 then. So I didn't have the guts to, reject this offer. And you know what was the scenario in 1991, 92 was in terms of jobs. So then I decided, okay, I will take this up. What I will do is that I will just go and spend a year or two, have that training, learn how to ride a gypsy or, learn horse riding and all that stuff. And then I'll come back. I'll have some money also, and then I will pursue my career in terms of higher studies abroad. So when I joined there, it was all nice. I already planned that I won't be sticking more than a year or so. During that period, I met my commandant one day, in fact, one night after dinner, just outside the mess. And we were sitting and having a general discussion. Subsequently, when we both were left, and I just somehow disclosed him my plan that, this is what I want to do in life. So he listened to me and then he said, okay, this is fine. Meet me next day in the office after lunch. So what I did, I went and met him in his office next day. And then he said in very clear-cut terms that if you have something else in mind other than this career, then don't pursue this career. Because we are spending so much money on you, government is spending so much money on you, it won't be easy for you to leave. If you want to leave, leave within 3 months now. And it will be difficult for us to, let you go, even during this 3 months. And that is where I decided that, okay, I don't want to pursue this. I want to pursue some other career which I have in mind. And I resigned and I came back. So why I'm telling you this story? Because I know many of you would be going through such phase as of now, being a student and stepping into the job world or corporate world or entrepreneurship. A lot of questions might be running into your mind about, the decision that you will take. So it is a very vulnerable stage that you guys are in, and it would be better to understand, how not to fall into trap where, you take wrong decisions. So decisions can be life-changing. Now you can, I hope, relate with what I mentioned here. We are our choices. That one decision changed my life. I took that decision. I came back. I pursued my master's here. Though I got admission in US universities, but I could not make it. My visa was not provided to me because of whatever reason. And then I got a corporate job in posting in Mumbai. So the idea behind telling this story was that whatever decision we make shape our destiny or career path or life chart. Now, I am not talking about routine decisions. These are very strategic decisions. And in life, there are 3 or 4 decisions that you take, which actually defines your destiny. So you have to be very careful when you make a decision. Now, why decision making becomes critical or, is important? Because every decision that you take today will shape up your future. You have seen my story. Okay. So whatever decision you take in terms of, say, whatever habits you are inculcating now, developing now, what kind of friend circle you are having, with whom you are meeting and, spending time with, what kind of books you are reading, what kind of podcast you are listening, how much time you are spending on social media, and likewise. So whatever decision you are taking now will shape up your future. So you have to be very particular that you have to make the right decision. Okay. So it not only becomes critical for your life as such, but for your career as well. And it is actually, one of the critical skills that one should try to develop over a period of time. Okay. So we have seen why decision making is critical and important, how it impacts our future. Now let us talk about what is decision making. So what you will have at dinner tonight, what clothes you will be wearing for the party tonight, what movie you will be seeing in the weekend. Are they decisions? Of course, they are decisions. But they are not strategic decisions. They will not impact your future that way. Okay. So if I am to read out, or if I am to put definition of decision making in a very simple manner at very high level, then I would say decision making is simply the process of identifying and choosing alternatives based on our values, preferences, and beliefs. What I believe, I mean, what are my values, accordingly I take decision. And these are your mostly related to routine decisions. But if I am to take a strategic decision that will impact my future, like, choosing the course that you want to pursue as your career, or what career you should be pursuing, either in job or say entrepreneurship or whatever it is. Okay, that becomes strategic decision. So let's do a deep dive and see, if we can make decision making definition slightly more deeper in content. So decision making, we can also define as the process of selecting the best course of action from several available options. Now, decision making is choosing the option. Okay, you have multiple options, you have to choose the best option. That is where your decision making skills come into picture. Now, what does it involve? It involves identifying a problem or an opportunity. Every decision is related to either a problem or an opportunity. In my case, when I narrated the story of, joining the CRPF, it was an opportunity for me, right? And I had to decide whether I want to pursue with that opportunity or not at that point of time. Or you might be having a problem and you need to find a solution based on the decision that you take. So decision making involves identifying a problem or an opportunity. Now, you have to be very particular about identifying the problem. Problem statement जैसे हम बोलते हैं. If you are able to identify the problem correctly, then half of the battle is won. Okay. So very carefully, you have to identify your problem. And then what you do is that you gather information, do analysis of alternatives, and choosing the most appropriate course of action to achieve a desired outcome. So this is all about decision making. So one, you choose the alternative based on your preferences or likes or beliefs, or what you think is good. And the other definition is, a little deeper in content, in the sense that you select the best course of action from several available options by identifying the correct problem or the actual problem, or if it is an opportunity, gathering information, doing analysis, choosing the most appropriate course of action to be taken. Now, we also see that, as I said, decisions can be routine or strategic. Routine decisions, I told you, choice of clothes, spending time accordingly. And strategic decision is where you need to take uh, a decision which will impact your future. I can see one hand raised. So, Garimaji, can we have the question from Ashish?
Ashish, can you type your question in the chat box? I request Ashish to type the question so that it can be addressed by sir.
Okay, Garimaji, let me know when Ashish
Okay, sure.
writes the question, and just do me a favor by reading it out.
Just a minute, learners, in case you are having any queries, so we'll be addressing your queries after the session. In case you have, you can write your query in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay. So continuing with the process of decision making, we are trying to understand what is decision all about. I mean, what we call decision making. So there are routine decision and there are strategic decision. Also, there are emotional decisions and there are rational decisions. So many a time we take decision based out of our emotions. Correct? Sometimes when we are very angry, we take a decision because of whatever has happened to us, whatever be the cause of that anger. Sometimes we are very very happy mood and we commit, or we take a decision. So these decisions fall into the category of emotional decision making. And then you have the rational decision making, which, as I mentioned in the second definition, that it's a logic based decision where you collect information, you do a rationalization, and then you take a decision. My thought here is that when you are in anger mood or when you are angry, don't take a decision, especially decision related to your career or life, or a strategic decision. Hold on, give it a thought, take time, and then take a decision. Because most of the time, when you make a decision which is emotion based, they don't prove to be right. Similarly, when you are very happy, in a very good mood, don't commit something to someone because which later on you might repent, or later on you might not be able to fulfill. So try to avoid making emotional decisions. Okay? Pushpendra, if you can type your question, that would be great. Do we have questions from Pushpendra? Okay, moving on. Okay, so we have seen how decision making is critical and important, and we have also seen that what is decision making is all about. So what is the decision making framework? Do we have a framework that we can use for our decision making? So yes, we do have a framework, and that is what I want to discuss with you guys, which you can use in your day-to-day life as well, and importantly, while taking strategic decisions. First of all, you need, as I said earlier, you need to identify the problem or the opportunity. Every decision is related to either a problem or an opportunity. based on the option that you have to decide one particular option. It's very important for you to know that you have to identify the problem very correctly. Okay, if you are able to pinpoint the problem, that okay, this is the problem, then only you will be able to arrive at the right decision. So making the correct problem statement. Now in startup parlance, we talk it as problem statement. A lot of founders, they build their startup, where they try to fit their offering in terms of product or services uh, by creating a problem, which is not there actually in the market. So first of all, if you are, say, going into entrepreneurship or in the startup world, identify the problem statement. What is the problem that you want to resolve? Identify it very correctly. Write it in absolute terms that this is a problem that you want to address. So right now we are talking in very generic terms, so I would not go into the startup parlance. But when you are making a decision, a strategic decision, identify the problem very clearly or whatever be the opportunity that you have. Second step is, gather information. Gather information as much as possible related to that problem or opportunity. Talk to people, get feedback, read newspaper articles, magazine, listen to podcast, gather data in today's time, very important. So we have internet available now. A lot of information is available on internet. Gather all the data. Gather as much information as possible and from varied sources. That will help you to take the right decision. What you do next is analyze that information, what you have on paper. So once you have all the data in front of you, it would be easy for you to do analysis, see a pattern, or get to conclusion, or make relevant options basically, which you think would be like related to the problem or the opportunity, which would be like a solution to the problem or the opportunity. Once you have done the analysis of all the data and the facts which is in front of you, then you are able to make out possible alternatives or solution. Okay, so I have this data, this is the problem, this is all the information and data I have, and these are the probable solutions that I can think of, or these are the probable options that I think would address the problem or the opportunity or the decision that I'm going to take. Once you have all the options in front of you, then the next process is to evaluate those options. And this is based on what you are looking for, aligning with your goals, aligning with your objectives, what you want to achieve, what you want to have the desired outcome of the decision. So you have to evaluate the options based on that. Okay. Once you do the evaluation, then is the time to make a decision to pick the best option that is suited or suitable to you. Okay, which would fulfill your decision-making process in terms of having the desired outcome that you are looking for. So this is a very basic framework, but it is very important and it is very helpful while making strategic decision. First, you have to identify the problem or the opportunity that you have or you want to pursue or don't want to pursue. Gather all the information from varied sources. Analyze that information, have discussion, do brainstorming with your peers, friends, mentors, seniors. Then you work out variable options, solutions that are there, possible solutions that could be addressing the problem. And then you evaluate various options and take a final decision that, okay, this is the best option for me to work on. But डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस यहीं पे खत्म नहीं होता. इसके बाद इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी शुरू होती है कि आपने डिसीजन तो ले लिया, बट most important factor here is that you have to take action. Very important. Lot of time people decide, take decision, do all the steps what I have mentioned, but they don't take action. You have decided, okay, you want to lose weight, go to the gym, improve your diet, etc., etc. But no action, not working on that plan of going to the gym every day, getting up early, or whatever time suits you, taking care of your diet. So taking action is again very important. Once you take a decision, follow it up with the action. Any question on the decision making framework or whatever we have discussed till now? Garima ji, if you can read out few questions, that would be great.
Yes, learners.
Because I see quite a few hands raised
Yeah.
while I was talking. So it's better if we can, address their questions.
So we can do one thing. I would request the learners to get ready with their questions at the end of the session, so that once we have finished with the session, later on we can address the questions. So learners, you can later on type your questions in the chat box. As of now, sir, I request you to carry on with with your session.
Okay. So अभी तक हमने क्या देखा है कि decision making is not only critical but important. Decision making क्या होता है? What is decision making? What do we mean by decision making? And then we also talked about the framework that we should be following while making a decision. Okay. Now, next is that what are the challenges while we take decisions? So there are some common decision making traps that you should try to avoid. सबसे पहला है analysis paralysis. What we mean here is that we do lot of overthinking, lot of thinking. We are stuck to one point of thought or one point of our thought process, and we keep on thinking about the same thing again and again. So try to avoid overthinking. You need to be quick in making decision. Don't procrastinate. Because what happens is that when you overthink, your thought process remains the same, because the thoughts or the ideas that you have, that is involving the limited periphery of your brain or whatever it is, unless until you have discussions with other people or do brainstorming. So stop overthinking while making decisions. Second trap is fear of failure. Now, this is a major deterrent in decision making. Lot of time, people don't take decision because of the fact that they fear failure. What if I fail? What if I take this decision and it doesn't work out as per my expectation? So people want to be in their comfort zone. Corporate world में बहुत ऐसा होता है कि people avoid taking new challenges or new roles or new responsibilities because of the fear of failure. And this fear of failure is nothing but fear of unknown, and it is just in their mind. It doesn't happen in real sense. So this fear of failure you have to be very particular about. Like when I took the decision of resigning from the government job that I had, my first job, there was a fear of failure in the sense that what if I cannot make it, I could not make it again in my career. It was a good opportunity, but if I'm leaving it like that without any option in my hand, what if nothing happens, or I don't get anything good again? But once you decide on something, my advice to you guys would be stick to it and continue with your decision. Because very importantly, now note it down and make a note of it. The pain of regret of not taking a decision is lifelong as compared to the pain of taking a decision and failing at it. That is temporary. You make a decision and you fail, the pain is temporary. But not taking a decision, that the pain or the regret will, continue with your life, throughout your life. So ensure that you take decision, and within the framework of making decision, take right decision. Another trap where, which hampers decision making is too many choices. Especially in today's world, we see that, we are bombarded with choices for everything, from pursuing our courses or, education to jobs to other things. We have a lot of choices, and that creates confusion in our mind. So आपने देखा होगा कि whenever say you want to buy something, you go to the Amazon or Flipkart and they have those filters. Okay, it helps you out to make a quick and right decision. So you put your filter that okay, this is what I'm looking for. These are the options available, and it eases my decision making. So you have to apply the same rule while making decisions in your life. I mean, don't create too many choices for you. Create filters and then take the decision. And last but not the least, very important, we often get bogged down while taking decision is due to external influences. And who are this? From where we get these influences? We get it from our family, friends, peers, and likewise. Okay. So a lot of pressure from the family. You want to do something, you want to pursue something, but family thinks otherwise, and they put their conditions or terms or their expectation in front of you. Then you have your friends. सब लोग जैसे एक डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं, इमीडिएटली जॉब करना है ग्रेजुएशन के बाद, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन के बाद. You also feel compelled to, अच्छा, I also need, though you want to do higher studies, but you feel compelled to go into the job market because your friends are going. Corporate world में हम देखते हैं बहुत of peer pressure आता है. We try to follow them. So these are common decision-making traps which you should try to avoid so that you take the right decision. And as I said, the first point is very important. Overthinking, try to avoid it. You need to take timely decision. Time factor is very critical. Okay. So these are the common decision-making traps. I hope it helps you in making decision. Moving from here, now let's see, are there some tools for better decision making? Okay, now we are in the era of AI. So there are a lot of AI related tools and apps which help you decision making, not decision making, yeah, like you have Chat GPT, which helps you solves a lot of your problems and helps you in making a decision. But traditionally what we have seen is that there are few tools which normally corporate leaders use and which are good for making decision. One is that SWOT analysis. I hope many of you might have read it. It is nothing but doing analysis of your strengths, weaknesses, what are the opportunities and what are the threats. So it helps you to identify, okay, you want to pursue a career in particular domain, particular field. You do a SWOT analysis for yourself where you identify what are your strengths, which will help you to pursue that career. What are your weaknesses, where you have your shortcomings, which would hamper to pursue that career. Then you talk about what are the opportunities available. You list down all the opportunities, and then you also talk about the threats that are there, which would again uh, be a roadblock in pursuing your particular objective or and the goals that you have. So SWOT analysis is a very good tool. Many corporate leaders, they use it, and it is very helpful in making decision. Another one is Eisenhower matrix. Now, this is pronounced as Eisenhower matrix. What is this matrix is all about is that it tells you, so you have to list down your goals or objectives, what you want to pursue in terms of whether it is urgent, whether it is important, whether it is urgent but not important, whether it is not important, not urgent. So you have 4 quadrants where you jot down all your priorities or your, goals or objectives, or, where you want to. So it helps you in decision making in the sense that you set priority to your objectives or, to-do list basically. So in this matrix, it's very clear that whatever is there in not urgent and not important should be out of your decision making or, out of your to-do list. Now, mostly people are in the quadrant where it is urgent and important. And that is also not a good sign. Actually, your all objectives and goals should be in the important and not urgent. It so happens that when we procrastinate, when we don't take decision, when we don't act on our goals and objectives, the things which are there in important but not urgent moves to the other quadrant, which is your important and urgent. So not urgent becomes urgent because you don't take or you did not take action in the timely manner. You are good when you are in the quadrant important but not urgent. So you have time to work on those particular points or objectives or goals that you have listed down. So it is again a very good tool which helps you for a better decision making, which all things you should give priority to, which all things you should move out of your to-do list, and accordingly. Okay, there are many things like which are urgent but not important. So you can either delegate those or you can, take help of other people to complete those tasks. Another good tool is mind mapping. Now, mind mapping is a very good tool in terms of, decision. It helps in decision making. What is mind mapping? Basically, it revolves around a central theme, and then you draw out various branches related to that theme. Okay. And ultimately, what you do is that you try to align the relevant branches which aligns with your goal or the objective that you have in mind. So let me give you an example on this, so it will be more clear to you. Suppose you want to open a digital marketing agency. Okay. So your central theme of thought is opening of a digital marketing agency. Now you draw out a branch. Okay. Say what kind of content you want to have on your platform. Okay. Then you draw another branch which would say what kind of social media platforms you'll be using for, putting those contents. And likewise, you draw other branches, say location and people and finances and everything. Then on the content, you draw another branch which will, tell you what kind of content you want to have, whether it can be educational or, entertainment related and whatsoever. So this way you draw various branches, and then you try to align particular branches which will give you a result that, okay, this is my This would be my digital marketing agency. This would be the content. This would be the platform I would be using. These many people. This is the location, and likewise. So it helps you in your decision making, or it eases out your decision making process. Another very important thing to note here is that, and it may not be directly related to decision making, but journaling. So what do we mean by journaling is writing your daily diaries. We can still try to make it that, okay, you don't have to write your daily diaries, but write down your thoughts and, whatever is going through in your mind. It helps a lot. Because what happens is that when you regularly write, and mind you, I'm saying write, not typing on the computer. Okay. Writing has a very different effect than when you type on the computer or the laptop or on your mobile phone. So when you write on a piece of paper or in a diary with a pen, you remember what you have written or what is going on, and you are very uh, articulate in whatever you want to convey to yourself. So journaling is basically talking to yourself. And when you write on a daily basis or consistently or periodically, what happens is that you observe a trend in your behavior pattern, or what is going through your mind at that particular time or during that phase, so that it helps you to understand if you are going wrong, then you need to do a course correction, or what kind of pattern is emerging out of your behavior or your decisions that you are taking, either they are whether they are proving right or wrong. So basically it helps you to make better choice in the future. Okay, and mind it, the journaling or the diary should be a communication between you and you only. It should not be like, you are not writing to show it to someone else. You are talking to yourself. Basically, you are taking out of your emotion or your feelings or your thoughts on piece of paper. And subsequently, when you go through it, you understand that what are your blind spots, or, where you can make correction in terms of, your behavior pattern and likewise. So it is again a good tool for decision making. It helps a lot. Okay, so now, so we have seen that decision making is critical and important. We tried to understand what is decision making is all about. Then we understood, okay, there is a structured way of making decision, which helps us to make right decision most of the time. Then we also, talked about that what are the common traps that we may fall into while making decisions, and we need to avoid those. Okay. And lastly, we saw that, are there any tools available to help us in making decisions? We saw that, yes, there are tools that we can help in making decision. Now, in all this decision-making talk, you might be wondering, कि यार ये gut feeling करके भी तो कुछ होता है, ये क्या है? So lot many times while interacting with your friends or family members, you might have come across, people asking you, भाई आपकी gut feeling क्या है इसके बारे में? या you might be telling others that ये decision मैंने अपनी gut feel के हिसाब से लिया है. Okay. So what role intuition और gut feeling play in decision making? तो पहले तो हमें ये समझना है कि ये gut feeling को हम कैसे define करें, intuition को हम कैसे define करें. So gut feeling is nothing but, or so intuition is nothing but your, what happens is that your brain processes your past information or the emotion or the wisdom knowledge that you have, and based on that it throws a solution. This would be right, this is the right decision. Okay, सो बेसिकली क्या होता है, हमारा जो सबकॉन्शियस है वो पैटर्न रिकॉग्नाइज करता है हमारी थिंकिंग का, थॉट प्रोसेस का, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट it tells you that whether you should go for this or you should not go for this. Okay, now giving you example, इसमें क्या होता है, many a times we have seen the structured pattern of decision making where you identify the problem, you gather information, gather data, do analysis, make options or solutions, and then evaluate those options and then take a decision. But many times in life, you don't get opportunity to do all this. Time factor is very critical. Suppose you are on a beach and a person is drowning, and you have to make a decision भी क्या करना है, उसको कैसे बचाना है. So you won't do all this structured thinking and all that at that point of time. You will go by your gut feeling. इसको कैसे save करना है. When I was into the corporate world, when we used to hire people, क्या होता था कि many times we would get very good candidate, well qualified, meeting all other parameters, communication skills, attitude, everything. But still, I would reject that candidate. Why? Because if I see that the role for which I am hiring, that person he won't stay, correct? He won't stay because he won't feel comfortable or good doing or, in that role. So my gut feel tells me that I should not be hiring that person. Not because he's incompetent or lack qualification, but because he's not suitable for that role. That is where your gut feeling comes into picture while making decision. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, Elon Musk, during the time 2008-9, his company was failing miserably. I mean, Tesla company and even SpaceX, I think. So he had to decide whether to close the company or put all his savings to run the company, and he chose the latter one because of his gut feel. सारे data, सारे parameter were pointing that he should close the company, but he put all his savings into Tesla, and see where Tesla is today in terms of it's, I think, the number one company in the EV market. Similarly, Jeff Bezos, जो Amazon के founder हैं, he was into a well-paid job, I think in the financial services only, very high-paying job, but he took a decision that he will quit his job and he would come into this e-commerce business because he saw great opportunity during that time, early 2000, happening in the e-commerce world. So he started Amazon with selling only books on as an online platform, and today Amazon sells everything. So he took his decision based on gut feeling that I should be moving here because he was already into a very good job. I mean, comfortably settled. But leaving that job and then moving to this entrepreneurship, and that too in a new domain, e-commerce, was a decision that he took at that point of time, and it paid. So sometimes gut feeling is required while making decision. But given the opportunity, if you have the luxury of time and if you have data information available, then I would suggest that you follow the structured pattern of decision making. Gut feeling combined with rational is helpful. Okay, so moving to the next slide. अब हम आ जाते हैं, so what is the crux of the matter? Whatever we have discussed till now, whatever we have talked till now. What are we trying to say? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to convince ourselves? The first and foremost is that it is your life and you decide. Okay. It is your life and you have only one life. So you have to take decision. Don't delay your decisions. Take timely decision. Be bold enough to take decision. Don't have fear of failure to take decision. Okay. You have to chart out your destiny by taking the right decisions, by taking timely decision. Very important. See, most of the time, we just don't take decision or we don't take timely decision and later on regret. I don't want any of you to go through that phase where you regret कि यार मैं ये कर लेता या मैं you know ये decision ले लेता तो ठीक होता. Take decision. No worries if you fail. Okay, everyone makes mistake and you know make corrections again. So taking decision is very important. Taking right decision is again very critical and important. Now, as I said, decisions shape our personal and professional life. Very important. तो लाइफ में there are 4 or 5 strategical decision or critical decision that everyone takes, starting from what education to pursue, what career to follow, whom to marry. Personal decision very important. And likewise, buying a house and all that. These are 4 or 5 decisions that are very critical, and it shapes entire your destiny basically. It shapes your entire life. So you have to be very particular about what and how you are taking your decision. You are at a very vulnerable stage in your career. Soon, you'll be moving out to your, outer world, completing your studies, and there will be a lot of challenging decisions that you need to take. So you have to be very particular that, you take the right decision. As I said, use the structured framework for better choices. Because what happens is that when you use that structured framework, at least, you are mitigating the risk involved into the decisions, risk involved with the decisions. Because you analyze the data, you evaluate your options, and then you take a decision. So use the structured framework for better decision. Be informed. Keep your eyes and ears open. Be well informed so that you are able to take better choices. Knowledge is very important. Knowledge is power. So acquire as much knowledge as possible so that you are able to take right decision, and in turn you can have better choices in life. Avoid decision-making traps. We have discussed in detail what are the traps and how you should be avoiding it. Have the courage to take bold decision. Don't fear failure. Failures are part of life. You fail. You don't fail. Whatever decision you have taken, that event or that objective or that goal fails, not you. You again, make new goals and new objectives and achieve those goals. One very important thing is that whatever decisions you take, you need to be accountable and responsible for the outcome of your decisions. You can't blame others. Okay. आपने डिसीजंस ले लिया और डिसीजन अगर सही गया तो ठीक है, आप अपनी पीठ थपथपाइए कि मैंने बहुत बड़ा काम कर दिया. और अगर डिसीजन गलत हो गया तो यू स्टार्ट ब्लेमिंग फैमिली मेंबर्स, फ्रेंड्स, सर्कमस्टांसेस, कॉलेज, अथॉरिटीज, ये वो. नो, दैट इज नॉट द राइट वे. Have the guts to take onus on you in case the outcome is not as per your desired as per your desire. And we all know that, when we take decision, we might make mistakes also. It's only on the hindsight that we analyze and we realize, अच्छा यार ये decision मेरा गलत हुआ या ये मैंने गलत decision लिया. ठीक है. So I mean, see what course correction you can make, what changes you can make, if you can pivot. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But not taking decision is a bigger mistake in life. I would emphasize that. Make mistake, fail, learn from the mistake, and move on. And it's better that if you make mistake early, learn fast, and then become more wise and mature in terms of taking decision. Because taking decision is a ongoing process. It's not that अच्छा आज मैंने ये प्रोग्राम अटेंड कर लिया, ये सेशन अटेंड कर लिया, आपसे मैं राइट डिसीजन लेने लगूंगा. So on a daily basis, over a period of time, make decisions, then you realize, where you go wrong in your decision making, improve on that, work on that, and slowly and steadily you start making the correct decisions. So this is the crux of the matter, and I hope you guys are very clear about it. If you have any questions, do let me know subsequently or later on. So finally, where we have reached from where we started. Now I hope you can well resonate with this quote that we are our choices. अभी तक जो आप हैं और आगे जो आप बनेंगे, ये आगे का जो आप रास्ता तय करेंगे, that all depend upon the decision that you take today or the decision that you have taken earlier on. Okay, so it is very important that you take right decision. As I said, there are 4 or 5 strategic decision or critical decision that we have to make in our life. So be very sure that you are, making the right decision, at least while, doing all the due diligence and the process that we spoke about, and ensure that, your decision making shapes your future in the way that you want. Okay. I think with this, I will stop here from my side. And now we can open the forum for questions. These are my coordinates in case any one of you would like to contact for further guidance or any which way, if I can help you, I'll be more than happy to do that. So reach out to me in case you need any further assistance. Thank you so much for your patient hearing in this Saturday afternoon session. And over to you, Garima ji.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really wonderful. And thanks for sharing your experience. And we also agree that choices matter a lot and decisions can be life-changing. So learners, you at this particular stage, you might be a professional or you might be learning or you are part of any program. So decision-making plays a very key role. So this is we all at times we also get stuck whether to do this or not to do this, or should I am I choosing the right course? It can be in any form, or should I take this career option or not? Now I would like to invite our learners. You can type your queries, whatever related to this particular topic that we discussed today. You can share your queries in the chat box. I'm sure we all often face some issues which are related to our decision making abilities. So can we have your queries, learners? And in the meantime, I would like to ask you, sir, at times we are stuck somewhere as far as decision making is concerned. Sometimes our emotional part is saying something and our logical part is guiding us towards a different way. Or in another words, we can say, should we listen to our heart or should we listen to our brain? So even you must have experienced this also. So where should we go? What should we do? So can you throw some light on this such kind of situation?
You are absolutely right. I mean, we all go through such phases and time where, our heart says something and our mind says something. So what we do or what we can do during those time or during those period is that even, we try to, as I said, the thin line that we have between a rational decision and emotional decision. We try to not overlap, but try to ensure that how much logic we can fit into our emotion. Okay. So as I said, I mean, when you are emotional, don't take decision. That is one thing which I suggest. I mean, because when you are very angry, uh, it's better not to take any decision. Though your heart might be saying, "Arey, कर दो ये बोल दो ये कर दो ये decision ले लो." But it's always better to try to avoid. In fact, whenever you are in highly emotional phase of your mind, or highly emotional, and there is some conflict or something going on, and want to give it back, or you want to show your this thing, you want to take out your emotion through your decision, I would rather suggest that uh, change your focus. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I mean, it has helped me that, many a times when we are charged up, or when we become too emotional, uh, we tend to make mistakes in making decisions. So if it's possible for us to, take some time, think over it, where your emotions are calmed down, or, where emotions calm down, then, the rational part of your decision making comes into picture. And then you take a decision which is more meaningful. Okay. Uh, but I agree. I mean, many a times we take decisions, emotional decisions. I mean, uh, which I mean, we can't avoid because of whatever reason. There are stakeholders, there are other things involved. Uh, but it's better that, if we avoid taking decision when we are very emotional. Okay, in both ways, either we are very angry or whether we are very happy, not to take decisions during that time.
Ahmad is raising some queries like related to his programming skills, and so can you little clarify what exactly you are trying to ask? Can you reframe your question? Can you reframe your question, Ahmad? In the meantime, another query, sir. What happens once we have taken any decision, maybe related to any particular, maybe professional life or maybe personal life, then what happens later on if the decision to be wrong? We keep on regretting that I should have done the other way, and we always, and at times the decision might be right also, still we repent that I should have taken the other path. So is it in such a situation, what should we do? Should we regret our decision, or should we carry forward whatever we have, whatever path or direction we have chosen? Should we move firmly in that direction, or instead of regretting that I should have done that in such a situation? So I'm
So,
sure I'll yeah.
yeah. So first of all, tell me one thing. Will your regret help you in any way once you have taken a decision? Okay. So there are two aspects here. One is that you don't take a decision and you regret later on that, I should have taken a decision. Second is that you take a decision and subsequently you feel that it is not right. It was not a right decision. Now, there are two options here. One is what are the chances or what is the scope of doing a course correction? Can I do something that would help to make this decision the way I would have wanted to, or the outcome of this decision the way I would have wanted to? So you do that, okay. Even if that is not possible, then what alternatives you have? See, living in regret is the biggest torture to yourself. Your life there should be no regret in your life, ideally. Correct? This is why I was, laying so much of emphasis that this is a very, these guys, students are very at a, what you can say, vulnerable stage where, they will be taking decision. So I don't want them to be, regretting any of their decision. So it's better to take the right decision. But having said that, your question is that we have taken a decision and it did not prove to be right as per, what we thought that it should give us that desired outcome, and it did not give us. What should we do? So there is no point in continuing with regret, right? It will be only, you'll be torturing yourself. Either you do a course correction and make that decision appropriate again, try, think of ways and means, and once you start thinking, there is no problem or no situation where you don't have a solution, correct? You will find solution provided you have that flexibility in you, provided you have that growth mindset in you, where you adapt to the changes or where you make changes so that you have the desired outcome what you are looking for. Correct? So living in regret is no option at all. Forget it. You have to ensure that how can you make your life better? So, I mean, the best way is to look at yourself is that, am I better than what I was yesterday? In terms of, my habits, in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my wisdom, in terms of my relationships. Am I doing enough to make my life better? It's in our hand, nobody else's. We can't play blame game. Okay, that is the easiest way to console yourself. But then you will be torturing yourself. You will be unhappy throughout your life. It won't help you in any way. Rather than, playing blame game or playing the victim card. I could not do this. I did not, have this because of this reason, that reason. You have to create opportunity for yourself. You have to take decisions which would make your life happy, meaningful, purposeful. Okay. And believe me, whatever I am saying is very much doable. I have gone through many, challenges in my life, and I have applied this rule and I have applied these thoughts, and it has helped me drastically. So, bottom line is that one, no point in, living with regrets. Forget about it. You made a mistake, or if you think you made a mistake in your decision or the decision was a mistake, what now? What is the solution now? What you can do to make it better? Correct? Have that kind of mindset, that kind of thought process, rather than, regretting in and day out. That won't help you.
Thank you so much, sir.
I hope that
Right.
answers to some
Yes,
extent.
very well answered, very well addressed. And we often play blame games. So I think that we should try to avoid that. Now it's a wonderful session, sir, and I hope our learners would be benefited, and now they will not be so confused as they appear to be, that which course to take and which course not to take. And now, as we are moving towards the end of the session, so before we end, let me introduce our director, that is Director of CDOE, Dr. Arvind Kumar Singh. So expertise extends from successful creation and implementation of online degree courses and certification programs to digital branding and corporate collaborations and the tie-ups for online courses as well. So it's a great pleasure. I would like to invite Dr. Arvind Kumar Singh to come and convey a vote of thanks to our expert speaker.
Thank you very much, Garima ma'am. And on behalf of Vivekananda Global University Center for Distance and Online Education, we are really grateful to Mr. Chakravarti for taking out his time and addressing such a very important issue. Mr. Chakravarti, we are really grateful to you, and we can see that many learners are benefited because of this session. We can see that thing into the comment box also. And I can see because of the time, we are not able to address each and every question. So I suggest everyone, if you have any question, please go and fill the feedback form and put your query there. We'll try to reach to Mr. Chakravarti, and if he has time, he'll try to resolve your query, because all these problems cannot be solved in a one session. And it was really very important aspect or concept which you made here, that choices are something which we determine what we could be in our life. I was listening to somebody, that person was telling that life is a journey between two letters, B and D, birth to death. In between that B and D, only C is coming. So it depends upon us that what choices we take in our life and how we back those choices in terms of decisions. Taking decisions is first step. Backing your decision is the most important step. And in case if you get fail in your life, you are going to learn a lot. So this session was all about those things, and we are really grateful to you, sir, and your organization setmycoach.com. I hope that you're serving a lot of people, lot of community, and you do this great work, carry on. And just a token of appreciation, we would like to give you a e-certificate. We are acknowledging your efforts, and we'll put this e-certificate over an email also.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anilji. Thank you, Dr. Anil.
And yeah, we are also thankful to all the learning community who is here throughout the session. We can see the number. It's approximately 1 hour and 30 minute session. So conducting such session and stay in the online domain, it's a very difficult task to stay in a session. So we can understand the quality of this session, and we are really grateful to these learners who are taking these session, joining the session and taking participation in our Abhyuday program. Abhyuday is one program which we have launched before the semester beginning, so that everybody is ready to take the real classes. Once again, Garima ma'am, we are also thankful to you for such wonderful moderation, all the tech team and CDO staff member. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
do full